Welcome into another edition of Sonny's Breakdown right now. The Horned Frogs coming off that tough one on the road in Baylor. Get ready for Oklahoma State here at Amon G. Carter on Saturday night. Time for us to take a look at two key plays from last week's game. And for our first one, Coach, I knew we would see it at some point. We got Savion throwing the football.
Yeah, obviously, he's been a big part of our offense last couple of weeks, running the football, catching the ball, coming out of the backfield, doing a lot of different things. Here we got a 4th and 2, and wanted to show something that we've run quite a bit, which is a little bit of this run action here, a play that he's seen. And then what we tried to do is we've got the 3 receivers inside. They're going to show blocking on the edge, and then Jack Bech is going to slip out. Now it's funny because this play Jack's really supposed to slip to the outside here and go up this part of the end zone. Well, this guy jumps outside of him. So Jack does a really good job of adjusting and selling this like he's going to go block this man inside. And I think that pulls these guys down, allows him to get behind him, and Savion just throw a ball up there and let Jack go get it.
Yeah, and Savion, you talked about the fact that he's got to follow Jack too. He's got to see what Jack's going to do.
He does,
anticipate that, which is big time.
2 guys making adjustments here, because again, we got a look that we really didn't anticipate seeing out of Baylor. They kind of zoned this off, and a great job of these 2 guys adjusting and making a play.
And it all starts with Jack selling the block, right?
No question. Yeah, it all starts with Savion doing a good job. We talked about it all week about tucking the ball away and making sure it looks like a run play, and trying to get these guys to come in there and force off the edge. And then it does, like I said, a nice job of throwing it out there.
Now, were you like me going, come on, ball, get there?
Yeah, I was hoping there was going to be a little more juice on the ball, but again, we were fortunate that guy did knock it away right there at the end.
From a guy who could throw it 80 yards, right,
exactly,
Savion?
Exactly. Kind of had to go off his back foot a little bit, but I would like to see him a little bit more juice.
Savion continues, though, to impress. And, we debate this all the time. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you, but where does he play at the next level? Because he's so talented.
Yeah, I think what we've done with him the last couple of weeks is really, I think it's helped him as far as his draft status goes considerably. I think, what guys want to see is they want to see players produce and be productive. And, he's done that both as a ball carrier and as a receiver. And I think the biggest thing they want to see, too, is a willingness to go out there and to be physical and to play hard and do what it takes to help your team win. And that's one thing about Savion. He's answered the call every single week. Every Sunday he kind of limps in the locker room. He's pretty beat up. And goes to see his trainer all week, and then on Tuesday shows up and practices hard and does it again on Saturday.
Did I see him one play this year on defense too?
Yeah, there'll be some times where he goes back there for the Hail Mary.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, and then we're just trying to get our big people on the field when that happens. You'll see Bech out there some as well, and to get those guys that are jumpers in there and can go up and knock those balls down when they need to.
Yeah, all right, we're going to take a look at the Texas South play of the game coming up next.
My name is Vincent Hancock. I'm a 4-time Olympian, 3-time gold medalist in international skeet shooting. When I step on the Olympic stage, I'm representing the United States of America. All the tools that I use have to be the highest quality that I can get. I know then that I can trust it. You have to put in the time, the effort. That's the excellence that you find in the people at the very, very top. I'm trying to get to perfection because perfection can never be beaten.
Welcome back into Sonny's Breakdown here. All right, play number 2 coming up right now. So Horned Frogs on the road at Baylor. You said in your press conference this week that you thought Josh Hoover may have played his best game at TCU. I thought this last drive was one of the better ones too.
Yeah, Josh really did a good job of taking care of the ball. We completed a 4th down pass in this possession to keep the drive alive to Savion on a slant route, and now you're going to see a way to attack a kind of a 2 safety defense here. You're seeing a Tampa 2 look where the middle linebacker here is playing the middle of the field, and what normally happens is this safety is going to kind of play wide here. The corner gives up a little bit of ground, and then this guy's supposed to play the middle of the field. Now they're playing a kind of true Tampa at the top here and a little bit more of a roll Tampa down here at the bottom. But Jack does a good job of, number 1, outside releasing this guy to widen this player out and to create some room off of the middle linebacker as well. And then Josh does a really good job of seeing the grass, anticipating the throw, and then making a very accurate throw there. And again, it all begins with the protection up front, and we did a really nice job here. You can see they bring a twister here. The linebackers come in and twist all the way across, and we did a good job passing it off from the center to the guard, and the back was also there as well. So good protection, great read by the quarterback, good route by Jack. A lot of stuff going on here, and really good job at the top here, moving that backside safety off the hash.
Yeah, a little subtle thing too is Hoover's first look is left.
Yeah,
and I got that linebacker turned, right?
Yeah, he's got to do a good job of making number 2 widen. He's going to work a little bit to the field here, and the ball's kind of in the right middle.
Yeah.
And so typically he's going to open and work a little bit to the field because there's a little more grass. And again, the whole key is Jack's stem here on his route. If you notice, he takes a little bit of an outside stem. He creates this window to throw the ball in, and again, Josh anticipates it and throws the ball on time.
The only negative to this, and you and I talked about it post game, was you scored a little quick.
Yeah. I wish we could have taken a little bit more time off the clock, and put those guys in a little bit more of a situation where they couldn't have the full 2 minutes, the 3 timeouts, the 2-minute warning, and all that time to run the ball. And we felt like if we could force them to throw the football, we could pressure the quarterback. We kept thinking at some point we might get a turnover, but to their credit, they did a really good job running the ball, staying ahead, and didn't have to get into many long yardage situations.
All right, Oklahoma State comes calling this week. Now they've had a tough stretch. But Coach, you know this is, don't count these guys out. Mike Gundy's a terrific coach, and they got talent, right?
Yeah, really, I think one of the more talented teams in the league. Been bowl eligible 18 straight years.
Wow.
Just a really, really solid program. As you said, I think Mike's a really good football coach. This team has, lost some really tough games. They played a very hard schedule. When you look at the teams that they've played, it's been one of the more difficult schedules in the Big 12, and they've been really competitive in the first half of a lot of these games. We showed those scores to our players and talked about just, look, they've lost 6 in a row, but they're really a good football team. And they, BYU had to make a bunch of plays down the stretch to beat them, and BYU's the only undefeated team in our league.
Well, what was that stat you threw out at your press conference? There are only 10 teams in the last 6 years, is that right?
That have won 6 or more games every year. It's
wow, I'm writing that down.
I think it's 10 teams in the last 10 years that have won 6 or more games.
10 years.
Yeah, I heard that stat yesterday.
6+ wins, and they're one of them. Oklahoma State is one of them.
Yes,
all right, good deal. 6 o'clock coming up Saturday night. Horned Frogs and Oklahoma State. That'll do it for this week's edition of Sonny's Breakdown. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the Horned Frogs as they have an open date after Oklahoma State right here.